I went off about Matt Rhule and his time management and situational play calling and things like that. The game is vastly different than it was just when he was a head coach in college last, let alone this old mindset of you punt every 4th and 1, you kick field goals every 4th and 1 when you're in position, you run clock at the end of halves, you do all the like plays aren't designed to go 3 yards in a cloud of dust anymore. Some do that. A lot of them are designed to get you at least 7, 8 yards if it's there because everybody wants to spread out and do things. That's my issue with not pushing the issue more on 4th and shorts. So I think a guy who's come from the NFL like Butler successfully, not made a stop there, didn't work out, went back to college. A lot of success in the NFL, understands the nuances and the variations of offenses from run heavy to pass heavy to spread out and run, spread out and pass, tighten up and pass, tighten up, like all of it. He understands, he's seen it all. He's seen more than even Tony White has seen. He's been around the game longer. That's the type of guy I want, so that when you play Ohio State or Indiana and you've got many different looks on what they're going to try and do from an offensive standpoint, you've got a guy that isn't like, oh shit, I don't know exactly what I'm going to do. Not saying Tony White did, but is more capable and more prepared to adjust and prepare the team for that. And then the next week go, okay, we're playing Iowa or we're playing Minnesota or Wisconsin, somebody who's going to try and stack big on us and run power the whole game. I can also get the team ready for that. And I have confidence in setting something up for that. Not I'm reeling and scrambling, trying to do something to fill in for that. And I don't know enough about Phil Snow to go, he can't do that. I just feel like in today's game, Nebraska needs to figure out a way to become on the cutting edge of today's game. Like the days of we're going to retain all these coaches for 5-10 years. Nobody's going to transfer out. Nobody's going to leave. Guys aren't going to go into the NFL draft early if they have the ability because they love it here so much. That's all gone and over with. You asked me when I said I don't think Rhule should have his fingerprints in-game play calling too much. And you're like, well, then what does he do? Recruiting for sure, and be basically the best GM in college football, if that makes sense. I want to go into recruits' house. I want to go into 4 and 5 star recruits' houses and go, look, man, I'm going to be perfectly honest with you. You might play for 3 or 4 different coordinators or 4 or 5 different position coaches while you're here, but I do promise you that it's going to be Nick Saban-like. When this guy leaves because he's getting a head coaching job because we did so well, not only are you going to be a part of that success that got him there, we're going to go get another guy like that. We're going to go get a guy that just got fired from the head coaching position in the NFL, and he's going to be an offensive defensive coordinator at the collegiate level with guys like yourself on the team. If they don't cut the cake the first year they're there, they're gone. We're going to get somebody else. But we're not going to sit here and promise you, come play for this guy and he'll get you to the NFL. This program is going to get you to the NFL. And turnover is going to happen. That's today's game. The reason why we're talking to you about your NIL deal right now is the same reason why half of the roster is going to be different next year. This isn't the seniors leave and the new guys come in anymore. This is college free agency. No different than there's NFL free agency every offseason. So I can't promise you that if you're coming to play for Terrence Knighton or John Butler or Tony White or Matt Rhule or Satterfield or Holgerson or whoever, that they're going to be there even past your first season. But I can promise you that we are going to pay as much as we have to pay to compete with other schools. We're going to exercise every contact we have and do everything we can possibly do to get the absolute best person at every position from year to year, whether it's an upgrade or whether it's a replacement because a guy had so much success, he's going on to another level. But you are not going to have to worry about us going, well, I had a cup of coffee with this dude in El Paso, and he said his kid's trying to get into coaching, so I'm going to bring him in, but don't worry, I think he's going to be a good coach for your position. We're done doing that shit. We're done with, I knew this guy at this level, and this guy tells me this guy's coming up and he's going to be a good coach, or this guy's a great high school coach at this state and we want to get a recruit he has, so we're making a position coach available for him. No, man, you're on the Nick Saban route, and when these NFL guys get fired, that's who your next coordinator is. That's who your next position coach is, to become the next coordinator when your coordinator inevitably gets another job because you're doing so well. And reevaluate every position on the roster. And do we need to go into the portal and get a guy? Do we need to dump a bunch of NIL money in recruiting because there's this stud freshman coming in? Whatever it is, but I'm done with, I shouldn't say I'm done with it. I've always liked the fact that Nebraska had so much tradition and tried to keep things traditional and kind of the sentimental things, whether it was players, coaches, things they do. But that doesn't keep up with the big dogs in college football anymore. It's turned into a secondary pro sport, and you have to treat it as such. And I want them to be aggressive and go for the best overall talent across the board, coaching, players, everything. It's going to suck, but you're going to have to get rid of this whole way of doing things the old way where a guy comes in red shirts and then he plays for you for 4 years. And you've got these coaches that are here for 30 years and they overlap head coaches. Like, I think that's done. I hope Rule understands that. And I hope that's the direction he's going.